with obeisances to the Supreme Creator and humble, respectful pranams to the listener. The prolific pen of Pandemonium now presents a pensive parable of Prince Ekalavya. Title of the story: The Dirge of Destiny, or The Gift of Gratitude, or the Guru Dakshina of Prince Ekalavya. In ancient times, the greatest war skill was archery, and one supreme in archery was considered the greatest warrior. Amongst warmongering so-called civilized kingdoms, there coexisted peaceful tribes dwelling in dense jungles who eked out their living by hunting. These tribal nishads were considered inferior to the monarchical kingdoms, who had an elaborate caste system in which the Brahmins and Kshatriyas were considered superior. All facilities of education and social privileges were available only to the superior castes and were denied to the lower or inferior castes. Of one such tribal clan, ruled by King Hiranyaksha, was the Prince Ekalavya, an only son. Prince Ekalavya was fiercely possessed by the desire to be acclaimed as the greatest archer of all times, and ventured out to learn archery in the nearby civilized monarchical kingdom of the Kurus. He met Drona Acharya, who was a great master of military warfare and also tutor to the royal princes and heir apparents. But Ekalavya was denied the knowledge of archery on the grounds of his inferior caste or rank. Undeterred, Prince Ekalavya then made a clay idol of Drona Acharya, and in its presence, in a lonely, isolated forest, proceeded to learn archery all by himself. Time passed by, and once Drona Acharya with his royal students went out in the jungle to try out their skills in hunting. Their dog was running ahead, barking loudly. This disturbed Prince Ekalavya, who was practicing his archery nearby. He swiftly shot arrows as to prevent the dog from barking without hurting its mouth. Seeing their dog silenced so skillfully, the royal princes were aghast to see a so-called low-caste archer with skills far superior to their own. Drona Acharya was also surprised to see Ekalavya's skill, and more so because it was self-taught. He asked Ekalavya who his teacher was, and was shocked and surprised to hear his own name. He asked Ekalavya to show him the place where he had learned his archery. The innocent and trusting Ekalavya at once showed him a clearing in the thicket where he had installed the clay idol, and in whose presence he would practice daily, and had thus achieved his skill in archery. Now, Drona Acharya had promised his favorite student, the royal Prince Arjuna, that he would train him to be the world's greatest archer. Seeing Ekalavya's prowess, Arjuna was dejected and nonplussed, and felt betrayed by Dronacharya. To appease Arjuna, Dronacharya cunningly asked Ekalavya for a Guru Dakshina, a traditional token, gift of gratitude given by a student to acknowledge the teacher's efforts in imparting knowledge. Ekalavya innocently and trustingly promised to give him the gift of gratitude, the Guru Dakshina. On obtaining Ekalavya's promise, the sly scheming Dronacharya, using his own promise and word of honor against him, at once asked Prince Ekalavya for his right hand's thumb as Guru Dakshina. As is known by anyone with even basic knowledge of archery, the right hand thumb is crucial and critical in archery, without which not even a single arrow can ever be shot. Ekalavya was fully aware that Dronacharya was asking from him a gift which would not only render Ekalavya handicapped but totally unfit as an archer forever. But the honest, trusting, and generous Ekalavya, considered as inferior by the so called civilized princes, showed his superior moral uprightness, integrity, strength of character, and high values of princely honor by at once cutting off his right hand's thumb to redeem his promise and offered it as Guru Dakshina to Dronacharya. Thus did the sly scheming Dronacharya subtly sabotage Ekalavya's supreme skills through subterfuge. Thus was Prince Ekalavya, who was full of innocent integrity and sincere commitment to his given word of honor, truly the world's greatest archer, cheated of his rightful glory by the wily Dronacharya, who abused his tutorship only to maintain his pet student's superiority and denied true merit its rightful honor through foul partial means. Author's note: the meaning of the title, The Dirge of Destiny. Dirge means a sad funeral song lamenting the death of a hero. Here, Destiny herself is lamenting as a funeral song for the concealed indirect murder of the skills of an archer through foul play. In the normal course of events, the glorious title of the world's greatest archer would have rightfully been that of the noble Prince Ekalavya. But Ekalavya was cheated of his rightful title and glory through deliberate deceit or subterfuge by sabotaging or rendering incapable of use his supreme skills of archery by a cunning, mind manipulative technique of taking advantage of Ekalavya's innocent, trusting, and generous nature by a rival group of scheming, manipulating nepotists. Sounds eerily familiar, doesn't it? Thanks for reading or listening to this story. Author Parag Raje. Story is dedicated to all those who are deprived of the rightful value or credit by foul means or due to lack of resources.